Hello everyone. Today I'm providing you fragments of my coaching with a student who had his second session with me. In the first one, we worked on the laning stage and rotations, and in this one, I felt like there's one key thing he needs to learn: how to play for himself and have better mid game. Key to climbing MMR is being able to have impact in games, and sometimes you simply need to farm up. If you're interested in private coaching session, visit Support Heaven Discord. Let's jump into the video. I think what I would do right now is just straight TP med.
Yeah,
So the thing is, right? You come back to the top lane, which is basically the worst outcome you can do. Because you cannot really kill them easily. You did put up the pressure on them. That's great. That's perfect. But at this point, it's very hard for you to kill them. But you're close to 6, right? And your 6 is very important. And
mhm,
the baseline for this is you don't have your mid lane or you on the mid lane. So he's here, right? The other mid laner is TPing there. So this lane is free to get right now. And this is basically the part where you can start playing greedy if you're playing a 4 or 5 even as support, right? Because
yeah,
before that you have to secure the lanes, but around this time there's gonna be rotations, and sometimes the best thing you can do is just get the experience out of the lane that is left alone, which is most likely the mid lane. Because usually it looks like this: you secure the mid rune at 6 minutes, then the mid laner goes to gank, and hopefully you don't need to TP there. Because let's say he's going to the bot lane, right? There's 3 heroes and enemy have 2 heroes. Then your mid laner, just with the rune, gets 2 kills. But then you get the farm from it. In this case, it's basically the same scenario, but it's shifted to the 7 minute, right? And the Furion is here, OD is here, this lane is left alone. You can basically, what you can do is just get level 6 and your Bassi in the next minute. While Coop cannot die, we already established that, right? She's not gonna die versus Juggernaut. And here,
uh-huh,
you cannot really help. There's no impact to be had. I would say before 10 minutes, unless the fight is very convenient for you, let's say it's happening on your lane or they are diving the tower, right? Or the fight looks good. That's the main part, right? If the fight looks good, you can TP to this. But in cases like this, I would be strongly advising you for the first like 11, 12 minutes. I mean, between that, 6 to 12 minutes, I would say. Especially if you don't have your ultimate yet or you don't have it already, which means you used it, right? To With a hero like a Sky, let's put it this way. With a hero that has a good ultimate, like Sky, Witch Doctor, if you have a hero like Task, you can fight non-stop, right? But with Skywrath, it's like you'd rather have your ultimate first, right?
uh-huh,
So I would be really suggesting you to play for the free waves that are left alone, because in this bracket, I feel like people don't have that. They're like either farming or fighting, and there's no like switching the positions uh, depending on what is happening on the map. So if this shit is happening, right? Look, there's gonna be so many last hits that are wasted here. Let's just watch it. 3 last hits. Nobody's contesting you. 5 last hits because that counts for 2. 6 last hits, 7 last hits, 8 last hits. This is completely uncontested farm at this point of the game. Just before you hit 6 as well. There's Witch Doctor coming here at this point. And
yeah,
up until this point, okay, so this is the time, right? If you watch your position, what you've done for the next minute is basically almost nothing, right? You're like on the top lane, there's some pressure, but there's no way you kill them. Quop cannot die, right? She's just free farming here. You're just chilling, and after a minute you get a kill on position 5 after Furion TP is there. I don't think they even needed your help here to get that kill as well. So I would say,
yeah,
in games like this, where you had a good start and there's like some stupid shit happening, And you can realize that this is stupid shit, right? I mean, it was
Yeah.
maybe a good call for him to TP, but there's like two scenarios. He TPs there, and he's gonna get the rune, killing the Night Stalker in the process, who's like level 3, or the enemy mid laner is gonna TP, and there's gonna be a fight, he's probably gonna die. This is like two scenarios that can happen. In the first scenario, he's just gonna kill this, and he's probably gonna be low HP, so he's gonna TP to the base. In the second scenario, he just dies. So your mid laner is not showing here for the next minute, and he didn't, right? So you getting 6 over here means your co-op gets the same amount of farm at double the XP. You get double the XP as well. You basically double the amount of experience you get. If the OD TP'd, you also get like 6-7 last hits over here. If he didn't, maybe you don't get the last hits. Maybe you get like 3, right, with your bolt. But it's still a lot better than getting none, right? So be
Yeah.
efficient. Be efficient. Because I would say if the fight is like here, you can TP and just take a part in the fight, right? But here you cannot join. But the worst thing you can do is just stay top for no reason. Creeps. So be efficient. Be greedy. Play for yourself. You secured your lane. You played very good lane so far. Then this is the time for you to, have some time for yourself. Let me show you. You won your lane. That's great. You have some kills. That's great as well, right? But if you see your net worth, right? It's like you have arcane boots. That's it. And
Hmm.
then it's 12 minutes, right? Then I will show you this. This is my latest game. This is gonna be on the YouTube, right? See? That's the difference. I won my lane as well, but I have like items to show here. I have 30 last hits already at the same amount. And Weaver is not a very farming hero up until he gets like an item. So it's
Hmm.
not like the difference is between the heroes. I wouldn't say so. I had Skywrath games that I had like 20 last hits at this point of the game. And you have 4, which is something you can upgrade on. Because that's great that you wanna, play for people, right? You wanna get kills.
Yeah.
But as I said, you have 0 stuns whatsoever, right? You have like Cask and Sprout, and that's it. So there is room for you to be greedy, right? If you have like, I don't know, let's say Centaur off lane, and then Pack mid lane, and then Sven position 1, do whatever the fuck you want. You go to any lane, you get a stun that is gonna get you a kill. And then it's you deciding between which hero is the most important to kill. Or maybe you have I don't know, co-op offlane, Furion mid, and then you have Sven position 1. Then it's clear that you wanna play on the bot lane, because this guy is gonna stun people and then you're just gonna kill them, right? In this
Yeah.
game, it's not that obvious where you wanna play. So every time you get a chance, you can play for creeps. And you obviously cannot jungle because you're a Skywrath. So there's 2 ways to get farm as a support if you cannot jungle. One is the waves. We're talking farm, not gold, because gold you can get from kills. One is the waves, and the second way is to pull, even if it's like 12 minutes. Let's imagine you want to play here, but the lane is here, you got this tower, you just pull at this moment. You get the pull
Okay.
cap, and then this wave is gonna, there's gonna be no wave. The wave is gonna meet here, and suddenly here you're safe to farm, right? Instead of here. And there's gonna be another camp, so you pull this again. And boom, you just got like 300 gold in 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's another thing um that I'm worried to TP out of lane a lot of time
Mm-hmm.
because I can't trust my, if I'm 5, my 1, or my 3 if I'm 4.
Mm-hmm.
This
You
this lane particular, I feel like yeah, I could trust Squab and then she has the jump. Um, but I guess it's just like since I feel that most games, I guess it just stuck around.
The first question is, if you are the difference between your core just free farming or your core dying, you're not allowed to leave. That's the point. If you're that big of a difference, because then your impact on the lane is one guy is farming all the creeps and denying all the creeps, and the second guy is not farming and all the creeps are getting denied. So that's your impact. if you're there, if you're the difference. It's often happening if you play heroes like Shadow Shaman, CM. You basically control enemies, right? And then the other core is like damage core. And if your damage core needs a person for them to kill people, and you're that person, then you're not allowed to leave. And then it's fine for you to stay with that co-op, right? But in this
Uh-huh.
case, she has the blink. She's not really a hero that can kill people straight away. She's just wearing them down, right? It's not like Ursa, let's say. Because as you said, you're playing with guys that you cannot really trust. So why would you trust them and just stay with them instead of just farming for yourself? Because I can see that. Did you first pick your hero here?
I believe I first face pick. I usually first face pick like 99% of the times.
Okay, so if I'm playing Skywrath here, if I wanna pick Skywrath, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell my team pick stance, because that makes your game so much easier, right? You just
Hmm.
one person stance, you use your ultimate, great. If I first pick my hero and I see my offlaner picking co-op, my position 1 is Slark and my position 2 is Furion, I know they don't want to play with me. I know I have to play for myself more, right? Because they don't pick to
Yeah.
help you in any way. Unless you obviously didn't say nothing, right? But this is something I strongly suggest if you want to play Skywrath. I would suggest I pick Skywrath or I hover over it and I'm telling my team pick stance. That's simple, just 2 words, right? And
Hmm.
it's up to them. And if they don't pick stance, that means you're less likely to get kills with them. But that also means you would like to have an Athos as an item, right? Because it allows you to
Yeah.
kill people. But if you want to get Athos, you need to get some farm. Then, if I'm playing a lane with a co-op and I see this, I'm just gonna TP there and farm for my items. Because this guy clearly doesn't want to play with me, as he picked a hero without stun. So yeah, I will play for myself. Your co-op is like level 5, she's maybe missing some last hits right now because you're missing from the lane. But she's getting levels, and then Furion TPs for the rune, you go to the mid lane. And suddenly, at 9 minutes, you're level 7, and you have your ultimate, and you just kill people over and over. Because this guy doesn't have a Quelling Blade. It's a lot of information, but it all stems from the question, how can I have impact in the game? And if that requires me to have some gold, I'm gonna be looking to get gold in any way possible. And standing behind co-op and just chilling is not getting you gold, right? This co-op is never gonna win you the game solo. That's not a hero to win you the game. It's an offlane co-op, right? So it's not like she's gonna be level 12 at 11 minutes. It's just not possible. It's not gonna happen.
So with I guess a little bit past this, once I'm like level 4 or 5, around the 6, 7 minute mark, you're saying that I should be greedier and farm because I want, my Atos since we don't really have stuns. Um, for a hero that isn't good at farming jungles,
Mm-hmm.
like Skywrath,
Yes.
how would you recommend I do that?
Yeah, you take the lanes that are left alone. That's very simple. There's no way around it. There's like, you cannot farm on this hero. I mean, right now, when you get the shard, you can, right? It's not efficient
Yeah.
though. So you wouldn't go jungle. I would say if
Sorry,
you.
yeah, like if there was no like free lane, like there in this game there is, but I have found myself in games where like there isn't a lane for me to farm.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah.
I mean,
So
in that
let's
case.
imagine this is happening, but this is not happening, right? So the lanes are like this. Then I would be looking to the bot lane if I can TP and just get kills. Because if the lanes don't break down and you still have impact on the lanes, like you harass this guy, this lane is doing just fine, right? Let's say this lane is fine, this lane is fine, and this lane is fine, right? Why would you break this if you are winning 3 lanes?
Uh-huh.
But if you're losing, let's say, bot lane here, but you're winning the top lane, now it's the question, okay, if I win the lane hard enough, does my hero on the off lane win this game? If it's like, I don't know, let's say Night Stalker, then I would say yes. This hero is pretty much a carry out of the off lane, right? If you have a centaur, let's
Yeah.
say, I would say no. Centaur doesn't win the game. He's like another support that has a stun, right? So if I see this lane going well and the bot lane is not going well, now the question is, can I impact this? Can I get a kill here if I TP? Or if I go through the portal? If the answer is yes, I would probably go for that. Because standing here and getting harassed is okay, it's good. But it's better to get kills, right?
If I do make the difference, but I could also rotate and get kills.
Now that's the question is, who is the most important, right? How do they win the
Yeah.
game? How do they win the game,
Okay.
right? If it's like,
Yeah.
if let's say they have a different lineup here, and it's a Juggernaut, but they have like Mars offlane, and then the mid lane is like, I don't know, a Void Spirit. Then I would say, don't rotate. Because the Mars is a support out of the offlane. He's just gonna be always blink arena stun no matter what you do, right? You cannot shut him down, right? And then the
Hmm.
Void Spirit you're never gonna kill. Because he's a very hard kill, very tanky hero, right? Then I would stay here and just punish this Jack every time. And that's good enough. As long as he's not allowed to just go jungle, right? Then yes.
Yeah.
But however, I'm looking at this lineup, and what I can see is they have 3 heroes that can win the game. If they are fat enough, right? Of these very strong
Yeah.
late game, Night Stalker is gonna punish you every time. Every time is a very strong hero versus Skywrath, and the Juggernaut is like a very strong core right now, a very strong carry. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So in this game, it's not like clear cut who's gonna win the game, right? It's not like they have one core that is game winning, right? In your case, I
Yeah.
would say yes. It's pretty clear that if you win the game, it's on the back of the Slark, I would say. A Slark is a snowball hero, right? It's not a carry
Yeah.
that is gonna farm. He's not farming carry, right? He needs to snowball. And the best way to snowball a snowballing hero is to grant him kills.